Have you ever wondered how your paper usage affects remote tribal communities? We're about to embark on a journey that unravels this unseen impact. Deforestation, while often discussed in the context of climate change and loss of biodiversity, has another equally significant yet often overlooked consequence. It deeply affects tribal communities who rely on forests for their very existence. Imagine communities whose lives are intertwined with the forest. The canopy of trees is their shelter, the forest floor, their pantry, and the rivers their life source. They live in harmony with nature, taking only what they need and giving back in return. Now imagine their home being stripped away, tree by tree, for paper, furniture, and land development. This is the reality for many tribal communities worldwide, a reality often unnoticed in our urbanized world. But today, we shed light on this issue. Now let's delve into how deforestation has disrupted the lives of specific tribal communities. Imagine your home being destroyed, not by a natural disaster, but by human greed. This is the reality for the tribes of the Amazon. Deforestation for timber, mining, and agricultural expansion continues to obliterate their forest homes. The trees that once provided them with food, shelter, and a way of life are rapidly disappearing. Their rich cultural heritage, deeply entwined with the forest, is under threat. Consider the Kayapo tribe, who've seen large portions of their territory in Brazil decimated. With the loss of a forest, their food sources dwindle. Hunting and gathering, once a sustainable practice, now face the threat of extinction. The tribe's isolation had kept them safe from many diseases, yet increased contact with the outside world, a consequence of deforestation, is leading to outbreaks of diseases like influenza and measles. The Amazon tribes aren't the only ones facing this crisis. Their plight mirrors that of indigenous communities worldwide struggling to protect their homes and their ways of life. And across the globe in Borneo, tribal communities face a similar predicament. This lush, vibrant island is home to an array of tribes, each with a unique culture and way of life, deeply intertwined with the health of the rainforest. But as the relentless march of deforestation continues, these communities are witnessing the devastation of their home and their livelihoods. The loss of biodiversity is staggering. Countless species, many of which the tribes rely on for food, medicine, and materials, are disappearing. Their traditional way of life, passed down through generations, is under threat. Hunting, gathering, and other practices are becoming increasingly difficult. Even their very survival hangs in the balance as the forest, their shelter and sustenance, is stripped away. One poignant example is the Penan tribe, who fought tirelessly against the encroachment of palm oil plantations, logging companies, and the erosion of their rights. The question now is, what can we do to help? The future might look bleak, but every action counts in the fight against deforestation. As we walk down the road towards a sustainable future, we must remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. For tribes worldwide, the forests are not just their homes, but their lifelines, their cultures, their histories. To protect these communities, solutions must be holistic, integrating sustainable practices, robust government policies, and individual actions. And we must shift towards sustainable practices in agriculture, logging, and other industries that heavily rely on forests. This means adopting techniques that don't strip the land bare, but allow for regeneration and growth. Government policies play a critical role in this journey. Legislation needs to be enacted and enforced to protect not just the forests, but also the rights and livelihoods of the tribal communities. Proper land rights, coupled with educational programs and resources, can empower these communities to protect their homes and manage the resources sustainably. But change doesn't just happen on a grand scale. It starts with you and me. Every individual action matters. From choosing products with responsible sourcing practices to reducing our paper consumption and supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability. Even raising awareness about the issue and advocating for the rights of tribal communities can make a significant difference. However, we should remember that these solutions are not quick fixes, but long-term commitments. They require the collective effort of governments, businesses, and individuals alike. Each one of us holds a piece of the puzzle in creating a sustainable future that respects and preserves the cultures, histories, and livelihoods of tribal communities worldwide. So let's make every action count. Let's be more conscious of our choices and their impacts. Let's stand up for forests and the communities that call them home. Remember, the next time you use a piece of paper, think about its cost, not just to the environment, but also to the tribal communities that call the forests their home.